If you have your TV on, could you mute yourself?
Sunny took that. Hi, everybody.
P, look at you. You're beautiful.
Sunny or Megan or whoever muted everybody. Do we want to try unmuting to see if that TV's off now? Or do you want to keep people on mute? Hi, Desi.
Hey, I'm unmuted. And I got the dog to sit, so.
Because the right wins. It's because the right, when they're in power, they do stuff. And so if you have children.
Hey, whoever has Fox on.
Yeah, whoever has fuck off.
Especially in Patrick's honor.
But like,
You know who it is, Patrick, don't you?
I think I know who it might be.
you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go with the team that's like crushing it right now. Except instead of the other one, instead of Democrats, who even when they elect Joe.
All right.
Somebody has, okay, it's over. It's done.
No. Hi.
Hi.
I can see you now.
And I think everybody, just everybody be careful of their background noise, televisions, all of that stuff.
Turn it off.
Turn it off.
Turn it off.
All right, we're ready to rock. Thank you guys all for being here. I'm Sunny. I live in Waco, Texas. I'm 35. I've had ALS for 5 years, 7 years. Oh, let me lie to you. 7 years. We are in our grand finale of the Fight ALS Film Festival, and it's been an amazing month. If you missed any of our conversations, they're on sunnyshown.com. You can go back and watch those, as well as the other movies that were featured. Let's see, tonight I'm gonna let Patrick and Michelle kind of run the show. I'll try to moderate from the chat box as we're going. I'll do my best to do that in real time. So if you have any questions or thoughts that come up while conversations are going on, throw them in the chat and we'll get them entered in. And it is my honor to introduce Patrick. This was a movie that I found very early in my diagnosis and made people watch in order to better understand what I was facing, that I was understanding what was going to happen. And Patrick did an amazing job of visualizing a disease that is so difficult to discuss, especially when it's happening to yourself. So I thank you for that and welcome.
Hi, Sunny.
Well, I'd like to talk about the origins of the film for a minute, if that is okay. In many ways, Transfatty Lives saved my life. I was working on it, shooting it, even before I knew what ALS was. I was living in NYC in the winter of 2005 when I noticed that going to the stairs from my second floor apartment, I noticed that my ankles weren't supporting my 300 pounds. And I noticed when I was rolling my cigarettes, my finger on my right hand, the pointer finger, wasn't quite holding the cigarettes. Was that a God wink? I don't know. I joined the gym and lost weight, but the vibrations continued. Finally, I went to see my family, and the looks and teardrops said it all. God, this is sort of hell, remembering all of this. Anyway, let me tell you about the film. So, I never had directed a documentary before. All my movies were fiction. I loved films, John Waters, David Lynch, Spike Lee, etc. I knew that I didn't want to make a disease film.
God, there he
Whoa.
is, still alive.
Whoa. It was boring to me. A film with a bunch of talking heads. Interviews, back to back. I wanted to do something different. As ALS took control of my body, I kept shooting. We didn't always have the funds to shoot on film, so we shot on tape. I kept moving. Eventually, I ended up in a terrible nursing home. I thought I was a gunner. My laptop was stolen. We lost footage. I kind of lost my mind for a bit. It was a daily nightmare. I had not seen my son, Sean, in a long time. But I can't blame anyone. I had a significant drug problem at that point in time. I guess I was a few sandwiches short of a picnic. I think that was when Michelle Dupree came into my life. Michelle?
Beautiful, beautiful introduction, Patrick, I must say. It took forever for you to write that and give a synopsis of 10 years long of hell, basically. So, but I feel super awesome to be here tonight with everyone, especially with Patrick, just because when I first met him, the reason I met him was because of reading that he wanted to make this film. And my friend Pam, who had ALS at the time, was like, let's try to find him. And long story short, he was like, I guess we're supposed to meet. And once I met him and saw what he was trying to do and didn't even have a communication device or anything, I was like, what can I do to help you? And I basically became his assistant while he directed me. And it's just a very long process of losing footage, finding footage, footage being stolen, different directors or producers or editors coming in and leaving. And then we got super lucky one day by meeting some people like Bradford Reed, who ended up meeting Doug Prey and telling him about Patrick's film. Darren, who has been basically everything behind the film. So I'd like to introduce them first. So Doug, if you'd introduce yourself a little and tell them, our friends, how you met with Patrick.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching the film. And it's great to see Darren and Michelle and Patrick and Kennedy as well, and others that I met along the way. But basically, I'm a filmmaker and I've been making documentary films for, I don't know, 20 or 30 years. And I ran into Bradford Reed, who's an amazing music composer and who did the music, a lot of the music you hear in the film. I ran into him at a film festival and he said, hey, there's this really good friend of mine who's making this film but just needs help, basically, because documentaries are hard for anybody to make. And obviously if you have ALS, I think it's probably more challenging. It's just documentaries take a long time. They require different funding throughout the process. Many documentaries take 10 years, 5 years, and it's a normal thing to hear people in need who have a documentary. So anyway, I didn't know anything about ALS and I didn't know Patrick, and I just was intrigued. And what happened is, because I'm an editor and I have a really good friend who's an editor named Lasse Jarvie, who I don't think could be on this call today, but he's the guy who edited the film along with me, and then there were other editors earlier. But we looked at the footage, and there was a really, really long, loose rough cut, and it was very powerful. It needed a lot of work, but it was sort of like reading a manuscript that's like this big, and you know you're going to make 100-page novel out of it, you know. And I could just, there were so many little truisms and truths and humor, and I think that's what just blew me away. Is it was like, oh, this isn't like just a disease film, like Patrick is saying. It isn't a film that's just about suffering or something like that. It is an honest film, and Patrick is funny, and he has needs and wants, and he talks very frankly about his life and his raising a son and being in love with a woman. And it was the most honest thing I'd seen in a long time in the footage. And I just had no choice. Immediately after seeing it, I think we contacted you, Patrick. Lasse also watched it. He was like, we gotta work on this film. We gotta help out. So we got involved, and Lasse became the editor, and I got a couple other producers involved too, a woman named Mia Green Dove, who was very helpful, and started working with Darren and Michelle, who I didn't know. And the team, we just, over the course of a couple of years, pulled it together and finished the film. And I really Patrick and with the communication of like, well, what is it you're trying to say in the scene that's not being said? What is the goal of this? And what, so back and forth and just a lot of conversations and a lot of emails and a lot of thinking and a lot of sending things. And sometimes I would just get on my phone and just talk to Patrick and say, okay, Patrick, with this scene, what are we trying to do here? Because Lasse wants to do this, and he's thinking of bringing in this music and this other idea. And Patrick is a great director and always responded with, I like this, I don't like this. I want that, I don't want this. Or I would like, and it just kept moving forward. So that's kind of my story. And so I thank Bradford for introducing Patrick to me. And Patrick and I have remained good friends ever since then. I wish I saw him more often, but it's just been a really good collaborative, creative partnership. It means a lot to me. That's why I'm wearing his shirt. If anybody didn't see his shirt, I'm wearing the Patrick.
I have the blue one.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my story. Darren, do you want to talk about your?
As well, but mine's worn out now. I've had it for quite a long time now. I'm Patrick. We go back, God, 30 something years now. I've known Patrick. We both came up in the industry in the mid 90s. He was going to SVA. I was working like at my first, post-production place. I just started getting into sound design and filmmaking and stuff. And we started doing classes, and he was in this class in SVA. He came through the studio that I was working at, and that's where we first met. And I always remember meeting him. And, during that class, he was just this big, so I'm 6'2", kind of 6'3" if I stand up straight. He's 6'3", like just this big motherfucker, like just coming in, like there, like I'm gonna come in and he just dominates. And, his creativity just overwhelms you, and you just have to know him. I just had to get to know him. I just knew I had to know him. And we kind of split ways. And then we re-met a couple years later at a company called Manhattan Transfer. I was doing sound. He was doing graphics, doing 3D, doing just crazy stuff. And, we were just starting out. I was doing sound design. I thought I was going to be this hotshot sound designer. He was going to be this filmmaker. and we hooked up. He was looking for a sound designer to work on his films. I was doing sound design. I'm like, all right, this is going to be great. And, you know, all the sound design that I was doing at the time was, you know, see a dog, hear a dog. You know, you see a dog barking, you put in a dog barking sound. Or, you know, if you see this train going by, you put in a train sound. So when I first met Patrick and we started watching his films, there's like two people sitting down on a couch and they're both wearing in their underwear and they're on a white cyc and something's happening. And he's like, all right, what do you hear? I'm like, fuck you talking about? What do I hear? This is crazy. So he taught me like how to do sound design outside the box. And, you know, we just hooked up and I started working on his short films and we just kind of connected and, you know, went through the whole business and the whole industry growing up, learning things together. And, you know, gosh, so, I mean, that's how we started. And like, you know, before Transfatty happened, before he got diagnosed. And then, you know, we just always stayed connected. And when this started going down and this started happening, I was just on board always, no matter what needed to happen. I was there and here we are.
Awesome.
Patrick, do you want to do some of the questions now that people sent in to answer? So Patrick copy and pasted all the questions and then answered them. So he's going to share that.
And Michelle, while he prepares,
Life
can,
been
oh,
like-
okay, go ahead, Patrick, sorry.
What has life been like since the doc aired? The documentary won several awesome festivals and the Audience Award at Tribeca Film Festival, which was incredible. I immediately started working on the new film, which is called Life is a Burger. This was a lot of fun to make with my friend Femberley and Doug Prey producing it. Is there anything you would have added to the doc? Honestly, if Doug didn't stop me, I'd probably still be filming. What are some of your biggest accomplishments since the doc? Being able to spend time with my son and to see how much he is accomplishing. Dash, 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 how do you live a normal life? I wish I knew dash, 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 dash. How do you not give up after diagnosis? For me, I guess my mom raised us with an unsinkable, positive outlook on things. Dash, dash, dash. How are you treating yourself? It's gotten harder in the last 6 months. ALS is very hard. Losing my mom to pancreatic cancer has made things even harder, but I'm working on a new film now. I'll surprise you with the details soon. Dash, dash, dash. Are you healing? I am still waiting. Dash, 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 dash. What is something most people don't know about ALS, but you would like the public to know more about? ALS affects more young people than most people are aware of. When you're young, it makes everything even harder because you haven't gotten your life started. You don't have savings, a place to call your own, and you wonder what will happen to you. I got lucky being able to move into the steep sailing residence, but the road to get here almost killed me faster than ALS. Nursing homes and hospitals don't know how to take care of a person with ALS. Line of dashes. What has life been like?
Great job, Patrick.
What has life been like?
So also, we are so lucky to have Patrick's dad on here tonight, Mr. O'Brien. Can you hear us?
I can hear you, Michelle,
All right, awesome to see you.
and you too.
So do you want to tell us a little bit? I mean, share whatever you want. We're just all hanging out together, as well as Patrick sent you a question from Derek Logan that Derek sent in. So whatever you feel like doing, go for it.
Well, let's deal with Derek's question first, which was about the chair, the wheelchair. Derek, is Derek on or?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay. Derek, are you a New York guy or where are you located?
I'm Boston based. I live in Arlington. I'm a native Canadian, and I was at the Leonard Florence Center shortly after it opened and had the chance to meet Patrick. Since departing Leonard Florence, I continue to work as a wheelchair consultant with other therapists. I work as an assistive technology professional. I provide custom wheelchair systems to a range of clients, but that certainly includes a number of folks living with ALS.
Well, you'll like this story. Pat was sent to a place in Rockland County, which is Metro New York, and it's a beautiful place along the Hudson. And I think when Michelle and I were talking earlier tonight, if memory serves me correct, and Patrick's cousin, my niece Christina Borbe, is online, but I believe he had 5 women come with him, and for the initial specification, his mother, his 2 sisters, my sister, his aunt, and Christina, and that poor son of a bitch that was doing the spec, I think they killed him with only the questions that 5 gals who were greatly concerned about Patrick could ask, and I just left the room and wandered around the grounds or something. That was too much for me. But he was referred to, I can't remember the name of the place, but it was above Nanuet on the Rockland side of the Tappan Zee Bridge. And guy did a great job. You might, Pat, do you still have that chair or have you gone through a succession of them?
That would be 17 years old right now.
Probably need a new set of batteries.
I beg your pardon?
Probably would need a new set of batteries.
You never know. You never know. But the guy did a great job, and Pat, you know, the interesting thing about Leonard Florence is they took and you can appreciate this. They took Pat and his chair on a pub crawl one St. Patrick's Day up there in Boston, and that was some mean trick. All these gals lifting that chair into the different Boston Irish saloons, but they were determined and they got it done, and they all had a great time. And Pat was not the designated
Michelle, was
driver.
that? Was I there for that? Was that the birthday?
Yeah, at the pirate pub.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
God, right.
I mean, ALS tried to take him out, but we tried harder by bringing him to that bar. We really did. We had to put 2 pieces of 2x4s and wheel his 300-pound wheelchair up the wood. It was just like, at this point, we just are just gonna go for it.
The fact that you don't remember though, Darren, is a good sign.
That's the problem.
It's really not, Carol. It's really.
We've done so many crazy things.
Oh,
That's the problem.
yeah, I remember that. I remember like trying to like go around to a loading dock to see if we could find like a ramp or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like some Harley guys gave us like their motorcycle, there's different ones, and we were trying to put it up there, but
yeah.
I remember the first time we ever did a little mini viewing. Do you remember this, Michelle and Patrick? Oh my God. Similar story where like Patrick was so generous. This was early on. And we were in our First Street address in Cambridge, ALS TDI was. And it was the summit. I don't think there even was a gala yet. And so people were in from out of town. Michelle was here. And Patrick said, you know, let's do, I think the piece was probably, the clip was maybe 10 minutes long. And we got a viewing room set up, we got popcorn, we got everything already. We're like, Michelle and I are like so proud of ourselves. And then we couldn't get Patrick in. The elevator, so the lobby, which was absolutely beautiful, had like this maybe 5 steps, right, Michelle? Like a set of 5 stairs. Well, that becomes a problem. It had a beautiful lift, but Patrick is so freaking enormous and he's so long that the wheelchair
You're welcome.
fit in the lift. And we tried to like keep the door open on the lift. I forget what we finally did. Do you guys remember?
I don't. We somehow got him up, but he was like, everyone was
We
like
did.
sweating and crying.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like we got in there, we watched it. I was crying the entire actual time of the film. I was like on the floor holding his hand, and he was looking at me like, shut up. But I was so freaked out by the whole thing because, like you said, people came out from all over. ALS TDI was so nice to say, yeah, we'll do this for you guys. Let's get a viewing room, and never thinking that this wheelchair lift would not fit
Right.
him. But I don't know how we took off like the
Yeah, sorry for
Lucite
cutting
or
off
the
your
whatever.
legs that night, Patrick.
Yeah, we almost were. We almost did. We were like, do you need this ventilator? Like, can you wait 5 minutes so we can get up there? No, that's what they did. They had to take the vent off and hold it in their hands and stand on the ramp with him. It was totally like illegal. But we did it, and it was amazing. And I think it was the impetus for the next stage of the movie. I mean, that was before we met Doug.
Yeah.
And when I look back at what we used to think was getting closer, was nothing of what Patrick and Doug did together. Turned it into something totally different and amazing. And I really just sometimes want to just, like, all these people came together with Patrick that didn't know each other. Like, I never knew Darren. I didn't know Doug. I didn't know Mia. Like, everyone kind of brought 2 friends, and no one was annoying. Like Christina, his cousin, like everyone was just like, so it was like a family that loved each other, and no one even got like pissed off at each other. You know what I mean? We all just thought, like, you're awesome. You're doing great. Like, all we did was say how great you're doing. And Patrick would just be the only one telling us, no, you're not doing
You can do better.
Yeah. But that's what a director does. What's great about it, everybody's like, how can somebody with ALS be a director? All directors do. Even the best ones in the world, any director, all they do is make decisions. Do you want it to be green or blue? I want it to be green.
Yeah.
That's what a director does.
Yeah.
Everybody else runs around and gets the green or the red or the whatever they're doing. But
Yeah,
and so,
Doug, I call that just bossing people around, which is what I think Patrick does.
I know it sounds like bossing around, but it's really, in the end, it's like there's a reason to make that decision. And Patrick is a great director. Like, he's really great to work with creatively. The short film that we made that actually Eric Mofford, I see you on this call, produced, is called Life as a Burger. And it's like a 5-minute short. Patrick came up with the whole idea. I mean, it's completely Patrick's film, and I enjoyed helping with it as well. And Eric helped produce it. And it's just, it's classic psychotic Patrick thinking and merging together of ideas that just would never come together in life, like hamburgers and burlesque dancing, all sorts of things. If you want to see it, go on YouTube and just look up Life as a Burger. You'll get a bunch of hamburger sites. Forget those ones. Just go look up Patrick's name with Life as a Burger, and you can see that. But it's kind of like, and I know Patrick's working on a new idea now too, that anyway, just great ideas coming from your mind, Patrick. It never seems to end, like the emails with really cool, interesting ideas. You never stopped making films. It's that's what makes me psyched about your story.
Does anybody else have any questions?
We have a question in the chat from Desi, and it's, how old is Sean now?
Thanks, Eric.
14.
13.
He changed it to his helium
14.
voice.
14.
14.
Oh, 14.
Does somebody
And
have that picture of him? There's a great picture of
14.
Patrick with Sean from just like a couple weeks ago. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, he's growing up so fast. But I don't know if anybody has it that they could show the group.
I can
Kind of
look.
great. After seeing the movie, it's really great to see this grown
Oh, you're gonna
boy.
be able to do that. Huh?
It's on his Facebook.
Oh, okay.
And Sean is an artist in his own right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Various people are asking how they get a shirt.
please, I didn't want him to see that because
No, here we go now. Here we go.
Do the
Here
shirt
goes-
thing again.
here goes Michelle ordering another run of t-shirts.
We've been out of shirts for years.
Every time he comes up with this, it's like, that means I have to ship, fold, go to the
I mean,
post.
but look at it this way, if we did get some shirts printed up and do, like, that'll fund a lot of his artwork that
Oh,
he
no,
keeps
absolutely.
asking for.
Oh, I've shipped out his old socks for money. I'm not afraid.
I'm just saying, so hey,
She knows.
Yeah. Not afraid.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Oh.
awesome.
I just snorted. Oh my goodness. Sorry.
Did it revert?
Go back.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. I'll get there again.
Yeah, you had it.
Yeah. And then I went to full screen.
Whoa.
But nothing's happening.
You're going down a rabbit hole right now.
I know.
We're spiraling down.
Okay, I'll stop sharing. I'll find it again.
I love your flower back there, Michelle.
Thank you.
Patrick Lauren asked, since Sean is an artist too, have you thought about a collaboration?
Cool question.
What?
Ah, there it is.
Ah,
What
okay.
is the question?
That's such a great picture.
Fabulous.
What is the question?
Somebody asked if you thought about doing a collaboration with your son, I believe.
Yes. That was the question.
Yeah.
Yeah is the answer.
Like, hell yeah.
That's a good answer.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Jensen put in the chat, I sent Patrick my question on Facebook.
Well, could you ask them? Because it will be hard for Patrick to leave where he is and go to Facebook to pull up the question and then answer.
Yeah. Jensen, can you ask the question?
Sit. Up.
You're on mute, Jensen. If you wanted to unmute, you can.
Sit. Up.
Carol, what's the name of the person asking the question?
The name of their phone is Jen's iPhone, but they have identified themselves
Hello.
with the name Jensen. And here we go.
Sorry.
Yay.
This is my very first Zoom.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how anything works.
You're doing great.
Yeah, no, my name is Jensen. I'm the super fan. I love to send Patrick movies and funny glasses, and we talk a lot on Facebook. His film changed my life, like everybody else's here. The question I sent yesterday is, do you dream in your original voice or your speaking box voice, or both? Or was there like a turning point? Like when someone learns a new language, they'll start dreaming in the new language.
Amazing question.
Good question.
Voice or box or both?
That's a great question.
Excellent question.
Thank you.
I never even asked that. And I'd love to know.
And hello to everyone.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
I'm a stranger from outside of Chicago that saw that film and it changed me. And a couple years afterwards, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and he's such an, he was an inspiration already. And I don't know. I went to art school. It's like me and all my art friends, you know.
What's your name? It's coming up.
Jensen. My first name is Jensen. I'm transgender. It used to be Jennifer.
Oh, okay.
You just haven't changed your phone yet, Jensen?
No. Amazing how much your name is on until you have to change it. You're like, my Petco card. I didn't even think of that. You know, be surprised.
Why, Jensen?
But, hi. And yeah, we like to send messages, and we have the same kind of taste as.
Yeah, I get that.
That funky humor.
Yeah.
The funky humor, like you either get it or you don't get it.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Pops.
There's the big man.
Wow, that was scary.
Big K.
That just came out of nowhere. Random.
This is great.
Has Sean asked you any big life questions yet?
Wait, Patrick's typing to Jensen.
Yes.
Yeah.
One at a time.
Thank you.
Both Jensen.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Pat.
Both Jensen.
Both.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's interesting.
That is interesting. I wonder, like, Patrick, I don't know an easy way for you to answer this, but is it based on like how old you are in your dream? Like when you had, is it that when you had your voice, if you're, yes is a good way to, short answer way to answer that. That's super cool. Your mind is really smart.
I think that's kind of fascinating question too, is to how they dream now.
Yes.
Yes.
Who's they, Darren?
Pals.
Okay.
You know, once they're in a position where they are now, it's like how do the dreams happen?
Right. Patrick made a really cool point in the movie about his dream self and his life self don't ever collide.
Right.
In my dream, I'm always running, which is weird. I wasn't a runner before. Or I have like those roller skate shoes?
Yeah.
Like I'm on those riding around whatever I'm doing in my dream.
Wow.
That's cool.
Did you even have them? What were those called, by the way?
Heelys.
Heelys. That's right. Heelys. Which millennial just answered that question?
Me.
Nice, Sheila.
Me. I have kids.
I have a pair. I'm kidding.
I never had a pair.
No, you're not. You do. I know you do, Michelle.
That's wild, Sonny. Desi, do you want to answer that? That was a cool question. And I know you had asked one earlier. Do you dream that you're speaking, walking? We'll give you time to answer that. Yeah, both.
There's a really good documentary about a young man. It wasn't ALS, but it was another neurological disease, and the title is like in my dreams I fly, or something like that. Again, he was in his early 20s, not cerebral palsy, but he's completely paralyzed at this point. Still got married, still had a baby, still went on with life. But the title of the documentary, I'll find it and send it to Patrick. It's a really good documentary, but
I like that title. Patrick, maybe one of your next titles can be dash, dash, dash.
That's great. I just wanted to say how excited I am to see Lindsay Mofford on this Zoom with us. Lindsay is a personal favorite of mine, but Lindsay's husband was Tucker Stiley.
Oh God.
Incredibly talented artist, poet, everything you could think of, musician, like everything in one. And actually, when I first met Patrick, he didn't have a communication device. He was in a nursing home that was out of your nightmares.
I saw that.
And I was standing there leaning on his wet bed while he raised his eyebrows at me and his eyes were this big, and I just freaked out because I didn't know what to do. So when I got home and I looked up some more information on ALS, I found Tucker Stiley. And Tucker was like Patrick. They were both Apple and Mac users only. That's what they were doing all their editing and stuff on. And here they were both faced with ALS at a young age. And Tucker seemed to be Tucker was just pushing the boundaries and refused to take ALS laying down, if you will. He just kept pushing it and pissing off people while he did it. Cause like Toby was like, no, you can't do that. And he was like, yes, I can, watch me. So he really helped us and helped Patrick a lot know that there's a future for you with ALS. not to give up, and that he would work with him to come up with some technology solutions. And this was, we're going back many years now. We did not have anything what we have right now, as far as technology goes. So I always look to Tucker as like my shoulder to lean on, despite that he had ALS, as my way to help Patrick. And I got him the Toby. No one else could help me teach him. Tucker would answer me. And unfortunately, Tucker just passed away recently last year, and huge loss for us in the ALS community, for his family, for the whole world. And I just know Patrick would, if he could type as fast as I talk, be wanting to tell Lindsay how happy he is to see her here and how much we love you. And if there's anything you want to share, the floor is yours. If not, we get it.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Michelle. Have I ever heard your voice before, all these years of knowing you?
I think like maybe once on the phone during a crisis.
Right.
Many years.
I just say that it's very intense for me to look at Patrick. I've always felt this way because they have so many similar creative, beautiful expressions, and that there was a bond between Tucker and Patrick. And we watched Transfatty together. I saw it premiere in Los Angeles where I met Doug Prey and a couple of other people. But then later we watched it together with our daughter, who's now 22, and it was so fun. It was so fun and familiar. And I also think about Kenny O'Brien and the beautiful scene, that's Patrick's father, in the shower, and how intense that scene was. So it was also, I also felt that Patrick captured a similar journey. They both were just weirdo, crazy, creative people. And it's just amazing. And I'm just so thankful to Michelle and to Patrick for being there for them to help Tucker and Tucker to Patrick, and for the rest of you here to keep the love and support and the filmmaking and everything. You just can't imagine. I mean, Tucker's like Patrick, struggling with it for what, 17 years now. It's the creative community that's made it all possible. And my brother's Eric Mofford, he's here. And Eric, thanks for helping with that second film. And I can't wait to see the third film, because I think it's about beautiful women wiping his butt. And boy, do I know that. Watching that. I love it. Thank you, Michelle, for the acknowledgement. And you are just amazing. So that's all.
It was so nice to see you here. I just love you.
I'll just follow up. I mean, that's a lot of what brought me onto the project was Lindsay and Tucker's relationship with Patrick, and then I saw Transfatty Lives. So when I was offered the opportunity to work with Patrick on Life as a Burger, I was really excited. And Doug is totally right. I mean, Patrick directed that movie, and it was all just, the same as we're having tonight, where we had to have the patience to wait for the answers of what he wanted, and then we just, we just did what we were told to do as the team. But I really think that because I had that experiences with my brother-in-law for so many years, that I really found it very easy to work with Patrick on that end. And Michelle, I think you got to start talking about Patrick's next film, because we got to make that happen. So you got to tell us what it's going to be about and how we can make it happen.
Oh, that's an open-ended question, because Patrick's every day, all day, sitting there grinding away, thinking of things, sending me notes, and I'm supposed to organize them into some format and then wait to punt them off to whoever is our savior. So
are you auditioning saviors here tonight on this Zoom?
Yes, actually, a matter of fact.
We're having an open audition for saviors.
Yes.
I've been available at times to be a savior, and then other times I wasn't available. So when the time, keep me on the savior list.
Oh, definitely. You always are. Don't worry. But no, he has a cool idea. He does a lot of writing and a lot of thinking in his head that turns into writing. And so he's envisioning what he wants to put out there next. And he's just in the final processes, ready to shoot this summer. And
Don't encourage him to shoot on film, okay? I'm just gonna say that right now.
Thank you, Jared.
Sorry, P. All right, brother. Like, we can't shoot on film. God damn it.
because Patrick's like almost like stuck back from when he was originally shooting films, just film. And everyone keeps trying to tell him that you don't have to use film anymore, but he
They
thinks
don't make film anymore.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that part.
Yes,
They
I
don't
told
make
you,
it
Michelle.
anymore.
Don't tell them they still make film. I love you, P. If you want to shoot film, we're not shooting.
Find another savior.
Yeah. Patrick, did you have something else you wanted to say?
Yeah, I'll tell you what he's going to say. He's saying "We're shooting film." That's what he's going to say. He's finding the F button, the I, now I is coming, and then the L, and then the M is coming.
Or it might still start with the F button, Darren, but we'll see.
But the second letter might be U.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
I was thinking while he's writing that, so he used to be like, can everybody come up this weekend? And we would all go, because he lives in the Steve Sailing ALS residence in Chelsea, Massachusetts now. Thank God for like the last 8-9 years, which is a fantastic place just that takes care of people with ALS. It's very rare to find in the country, but they're a very cool place. It's his home. So we're allowed to go in there and bring vodka and beer and hang out with him in his room and give him whatever he wants and stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning and blast music and shoot film and play film. Like
that now, are we there? Are we back after post-COVID? Are we there yet?
Almost, but not probably.
All right.
But yeah, I'm just saying, like, we used to go do that, like all drive up. Like, I'm in New Jersey, Darren's in New York City. Our friend Adam would be in Brooklyn. Like, we'd all just get on trains, planes, and all go up there for the weekend. And when we get there, he'd just want to party. So then we'd end up just like getting wasted. And eventually we'd have to buckle down and really be shooting more film and editing and talking it out. But we had so much fun just like doing this all like for years, basically. And then at some point we kept getting closer. And then we had like we thought we had an editor, director, producer, and then that didn't work. And I mean, I always think about Doug, like it was literally like, I don't know the word, like a blessing beyond words. I was in disbelief because he's such an incredible filmmaker to begin with. And here he is in California flying all the way across the country to a person with ALS that he's never even met or knows what ALS is, and just sat there with a beer, just totally chill, and started working on the film with him. And it turned into like the film of our dreams. It's just mind blowing. I can't say it enough. It was, I mean, there were times where I didn't even know where we were going with this. And Doug and Darren made it really come together. It was nuts. I wish I could talk about it forever because it was just crazy.
Well,
you just didn't know, like Patrick wants a Beastie Boys song.
He found the story. He found the story.
Yeah. He found the story and then Patrick would be like,
I still have the hard drive in my closet behind me. Has millions of scenes that didn't make the final film.
Yeah.
Doug, I still have like 40 reels of film, like film. Don't tell Patrick that. Is he still on? Patrick, I have film.
The goal with Patrick, the goal is not the easiest way through. It's not like, oh, let's do the easy, simple, inexpensive thing. It's like, we're going to do this other thing.
Which is why he's typing the word film.
Yeah.
or F, whatever.
Yeah.
But actually, one thing you touched on, Michelle, was the premiere at the world premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival was in 2015. And it was a really big deal. And it was a big deal to get Patrick down from Boston And it took a lot of resources. It took a lot of patience. I mean, not on me, I mean, on all the team and the staff and people who came down. And I think, Patrick, you were there in New York City for at least 3 days, and it was a really big deal. And we had this amazing premiere in just a great theater. And Patrick got in front of everybody. You were all dressed up in the most amazing suit. It was like a serious premiere, like red carpet and everything. And the family was there and everybody got their pictures taken. And it just meant so much, when you work for a long time. And if you think about it, I was only involved in the film for like 3 years, maybe. I'm trying to think of maybe, let's say 3 years. Well, Patrick was involved for 10 years and Michelle and Darren, like it really was a long, long labor of love for a lot of people who put in a lot of work. And there's something about that premiere, I'll never forget it. It's just one of my favorite film events I've ever been to in my life. It's just
Let's also not forget, Doug, not too many, a couple weeks after that, we won the audience award.
Yeah.
And it was,
we won the Tribeca Audience Award there, which is a big deal. And it just was exciting. It was a packed theater and people were laughing and crying. I mean, it just meant so much to everybody who was involved in the audience. And it was really, really a good moment. And Patrick, I think, you had some recording you played that was, God, do you remember, Darren and Michelle? What was it? You played some ridiculous.
it was a rap, wasn't it? It was
a rap. Oh yeah.
He played
like
Super Hill
got in
Bunch.
front of everybody and put like hit play on his.
He did. He hit hip hop, hip it.
That's right.
You don't stop the rocket to the bang bang boogie.
Yeah.
And everybody sat there through the whole thing while he played it, and everyone was just kind of like, "What's happening right now?" He played the whole thing. It was the best.
It was awesome.
It was the
And
best.
then we went to other festivals, and Patrick was able to FaceTime in on the big screen, like up in Canada. We premiered at our international premiere was at this thing called Hot Docs, which is one of the bigger documentary festivals in the world. And Patrick couldn't get up there, but his mom was there and others from the film, and he was able to be projected up on the big screen and speak to the audience just like he is today. So there's been some really great moments like that. And Sonny, it's really awesome that you also got this film to be played and remembered, because films don't go away if they're still relevant. So it's really nice 5 years later, 7 years later, oh my God, 7 years later. It's amazing. It's so nice to have new people coming to the film and seeing the story and getting Patrick's energy and humor and wackiness.
Sonny.
Hey, Patrick, does he have to ask if Sean has asked you any big life questions yet? She loved the part of the film where you were talking about that.
And while you're working on that, Patrick, first of all, son, Desi, I would say I'm only in heels in my freaking nightmares, so God bless you. And I want to tell a tale about Sonny here and what, Doug just had to say. When Sonny first talked about doing this film fest, the first film she talked about that she wanted to do was this one of all of them out there. So.
Hey.
Awesome.
So we also went to Doc Leipzig, which is also a huge documentary film festival in Germany. And this was like my opportunity, as a producer, one of the producers, whatever, like nobody, I don't, they wanted somebody from the film to come out, and actually that turned out to be me. So I went to Germany, I represented the film. It was just so freaking amazing. And there was this, they were all film students, and I don't know what you want to call it, like a collective of film students that watched all of the films. And it's Doc Leipzig is a huge documentary film festival in Europe, in Germany, in Leipzig, and they were all film students, collective. They watched all the films and then they voted, for Transfatty Lives. best documentary in the whole festival. And that was 2016, 2017. So, and I was there and I had to go up on stage and I had to like accept this award.
I
and
just
was
watched that again. He won big money. And they gave
so
that
fucking
actually gave
nervous.
you money at that festival.
I was so freaked out. I was like, you know, dressing up in my in my hotel room, like FaceTiming my wife, like, does this look okay? I don't know what to do. And they had made a trophy and stuff. It was just amazing. It's really amazing.
Yeah, he won a bunch of a bunch of different festivals. And remember you won, oh yeah, was that from the Tribeca, that big plaster thing?
Mhm.
He won like different awards and money, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Like we had no idea. We were thrilled the way the movie came out, but then to see how many other people loved it too was just like, yeah, it's not just us. Other people get it and they appreciate how awesome it is. Patrick, you got something? Yeah, you do.
Yes.
Do you want me to read what you wrote for Sunny? Okay. 1 second, please.
Of course.
Patrick's faster than me. Sorry, 1 second, please. It's gotten switched around. Unless anyone else has something.
Said she enjoyed the nudity.
That's, yeah, because it looks like it was you that said that, Sunny. So that was very tricky.
Uh-huh.
You enjoyed the nudity? Did you see when he rolled up in front of the White House for ALS awareness naked?
Yes.
That needs to be done again.
I remember that day.
I'm a little behind here, folks. Okay, got it. Dearest Sunny, I'd like to thank you for doing the first annual Fight ALS Film Festival. I enjoyed participating. All the films were extraordinary. We must find a cure. Thanks for doing something beautiful, Sunny.
Thank you.
That's for sure. What a gift you've given so many of us with all of this, Sunny.
I know, it's really great. I enjoyed it so much. Does anyone else have any questions or anything they want to say?
Thank you, Sunny, for doing this.
Yeah. It turned out to be way more than I could have ever imagined. And I look forward to this being a continual thing.
Me too.
You rock, Sunny.
Jensen said, White House civil disobedience sitting down since Rosa Parks.
Love you, Patrick.
Love you, Patrick.
Love you, buddy.
Patrick, I have some ideas of how to get Michelle up here a little bit more frequently. We can discuss.
Patrick knows.
I'm in.
All right, cool.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Just don't shoot film.
Don't shoot anything. What happens in the sailing residence stays in the sailing residence.
Exactly.
Eric says, thank you. It was fun. Please let us know when we can visit Patrick again. And Christina says, thanks to all. of you who support Patrick's heart and his genius. This is wonderful to see you all. Patrick, you so rock.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Sonny.
Everybody.
Thanks,
Love you.
everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Patrick.
Love you.
Love you, Pete.
Patrick, thank you so much.
Mwah. Love you, buddy.
Great to meet all of you guys.
Bye, Sheila. And
Good
Sunny,
night.
thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks,
Sunny.
Sunny.